So in this video, we will discuss about the price elasticity of supply, types of price elasticity of supply, sums on price elasticity of supply, and determinants of price elasticity of supply. This is very important for class 10 upcoming board exams. Okay, so let's get started. This is the third part of supply chapter. The previous two part is given in the description box. So price elasticity of supply. Now what is price elasticity of supply? Price elasticity means like elasticity. We know that elasticity means how much it can be extended, right? How much like a rubber, how much it can be extended. This is determines the elastic. If it is extended more, then it will be more elastic. If it is extended less, then it will be less elastic, right? So price elasticity of supply means what? How much supply respond with respect to the change in its price. How much supply responds with the respect to change in its price. Like suppose price increases by this much, say 100, by rupees 100, okay, but the quantity supplied increases by very small amount. In this case, say the degree of responsiveness of supply is very less, right? Very less. So es, that means the price elasticity of supply will be less than 1. Okay, it will be less than 1. Similarly, if we take the opposite time, like when the price increases by small amount, but because of the small change in the price, the quantity supplied increases by a large amount. In this case, es will be more than 1. In this case, es will be more than 1. Why? Because here small change in the price leads to a huge change in the quantity supplied. So in this case, the responsiveness of supply is with respect to change in the price is very high, and because of that elasticity is more than 1, is higher, right? It will be considered as elastic supply. Okay, elastic, here the supply is elastic, and in this case the supply is relatively inelastic, right? Relatively inelastic. Okay, got it? And how we'll draw the diagram? See, in case of relatively inelastic supply, relatively inelastic, what happens is, with suppose the price is 100, quantity supplied is say 100, supply increases by a very small amount with a huge change in the price, with a huge change in the price of a commodity. In this case, see, it has increased only 120. Here the price increases by 200, but the quantity supplied increases by only 20. In this case the es will be less than 1, right? And the curve will be like this, right? The curve will be like this. Got it? In case of elastic, the curve will be a bit bend. Like example, this is x-axis, this is y-axis. If we take, this is the price, this is the quantity supplied, say 100 units of quantity supplied at rupees 100. Okay, when the price increases by say 110, it has been increased to rupees 110, but the quantity supplied increases by a huge amount, right? 200, it becomes 200. With a small change in the price, the quantity supplied increases to a lot. In this case the diagram will be like this. This is the supply, and here the elasticity. See, elasticity, supply ka elasticity will be more than 1. Why? Because the change in the quantity supplied is very high compared to the change in the price, है ना? Percentage change in quantity supplied is high with respect to percentage change in price. Types of price elasticity. Next will be the perfectly elastic supply. Perfectly elastic supply, here the supply changes by an infinite amount with a small change in the price. Here the price changes by a smaller amount, but the supply goes on changing to the infinite amount. Okay, in this case, what will be the elasticity? Elasticity will be, in this case, elasticity will be infinite. Okay, here the percentage change in quantity supplied is infinite with respect to small or negligible change in the price, right? Perfectly inelastic supply. Perfectly inelastic supply means what? In case of perfectly inelastic supply, price price changes, goes on changing, but the supply remains constant. This is in case of old paintings, old coins, etc. Okay, can the old paintings, old coin can be increased with the increase in price? No. Why? Because it has already, it cannot be recreated again. Even if it is recreated, it will be the duplicate, not the original one, right? Unitary elastic supply. What is unitary elastic supply? When the percentage change in quantity supplied is equal to the percentage change in price, it will be called as unitary elastic supply, right? It will be called as unitary elastic supply. Now let's take the formula of price elasticity. Let's take the formula of price elasticity of supply. What is the formula of price elasticity of supply? ES equal to percentage change in quantity supplied divided by percentage change in price. Okay, this is the formula of price elasticity of supply, right? This is very important, you have to remember for your exams. Okay, now let's take one example of price elasticity. One sum we are taking. Take one example. Suppose price, here P means price. Price of a furniture increases from rupees 400 to 600. So before starting with the sum, we have to do a rough tabular representation. Okay, a table, so that we can easily do the sum. So here will be the price, here will be the quantity supplied, right? So price increases from rupees 400 to 600. So the quantity supplied increases, from 50 units to 100 units. Find the elasticity of supply. We have to find the elasticity of supply. So what will be the elasticity of supply? We already know the formula. So if we elaborate this formula, percentage change in quantity supply divided by percentage change in price. So percentage change in quantity supplied. Percentage change in quantity supplied can be elaborated as change in quantity supplied divided by initial quantity into 100 divided by percentage change in price. Change in price divided by initial price into 100. So this is the formula. Okay, 100 will cut it, and now finally we will write the numbers. Change in quantity. Change in quantity is, previously it was 50, now it is 100. So change in quantity is 100 minus 50 will be 50. Initially the quantity supplied was 50, right? See, initially quantity supplied was 50. So we'll write 50. In the denominator part, the change in percentage change in price formula is written here. So change in price will be 200. See, 600 minus 400, 200 divided by initial price. Initial price is 400. Okay, so if we solve it, we'll get 1, 2, right? So this will come in the numerator part, and the answer will be 2. So price elasticity of supply will be 2. Okay, this is the answer. Next is the time factor. It is one of the determinants of elasticity of supply. Suppose a price of a commodity increases. Okay, in that case, supply will also increase its supply. In the short run, it can be increased to some extent because the production capacity of the existing plant or machinery is limited and the resources are also limited, like raw materials, right? So, in the short run, the elasticity of supply will be relatively inelastic. Even if the price increases to a large extent, the supply cannot be increased up to certain limit. Okay, up after a certain limit, since the plant and machinery and the existing raw materials are limited in the short run and it cannot be increased in the short run, so supply cannot respond with the change in the price. Okay, with the change in the price, supply cannot respond. Even if the price increases to a large amount, supply cannot be increased. Okay, but in the long run supply can relatively be increased, okay. Why? Because the plant can be set up, new plants can be set up, raw materials can be brought. Okay, and so, with the increase in price in the long run, supply can easily be increased because the supplier has the time to bring raw materials, to install the new plant and machinery. Okay, so in the long run, elasticity will be relatively elastic. Okay, supply elasticity will be relatively elastic. In the short run, supply elasticity will be relatively inelastic. Next is the nature of the commodity. In case of nature of a commodity, see, there are two types of commodities. First is the durable goods, second is the perishable goods. Now, suppose the price of a durable goods, okay, like furniture, it has decreased. Okay, in that case, supplier will reduce its supply. Okay, but if but in case of perishable goods even if the price decreases, supplier cannot decrease its supply, like milk, vegetables, fruits, etc. Even if the price decreases, the supplier has to supply it, to sell it within some days, irrespective of the change in its price. So, in the perishable goods, supply elasticity of supply is relatively inelastic. What? Relatively inelastic. But in case of durable goods, if the price decreases, the supply can decreased because the durable goods like furniture can be stored for a long period of time. Next point is the risk taking. Now, if the entrepreneur is willing to take more risk, then in that case, supply will be more elastic. But if the entrepreneur is not willing to take a risk, in that case, supply will be less. Okay, in elasticity of supply will be less. Thank you for today.